This was on the service desk at Target. No one knows what this is or what it goes with. This is a Carote 7.5 detachable handle. Carote is a brand of cookware that makes a line of pots and pans with removable handles. This allows the pots and pans to be stacked very neatly for space-saving storage, and it also allows the pot to be used in the oven without the handle. This is the handle itself, which would have a mechanism to securely clamp onto the side of the pot. It was likely found in the store and turned into the service desk. This is a plastic thing found in my laundry room with many moving parts, all plastic with a silicone center, and the little blue arm things move up and down. It's a hook for things like a broom. This is a type of wall-mounted utility hook, or a gripper. The back would have an adhesive to stick to the wall. The central silicone part has rollers or cams inside. You would push the handle of a broom or a mop into the gripper, and the rollers would move to grip the handle securely. To remove it, you simply lift the handle up. It is a common and clever design for organizing cleaning tools. I found this at the beach. What is it? It's the vomer of a fish. The vomer is a bone that forms the roof of the mouth in most vertebrates. In many fish, the vomer is a distinctive, often arrow-shaped bone and can have small teeth on it. This specific bone is a common find for beachcombers who collect fish bones, as its dense structure allows it to survive the elements better than other parts of the fish skeleton. The picture in the link shows a very similar vomer bone for comparison. I found this at the thrift store for $10, but Google gives me nothing. I just got it because it's a rock and has some shiny green bits here and there. The Chinese characters say Fu Gui Ji Xiang, Fu Gi Jixiang, which means wealth and good luck. This is probably just a good luck rock that people put in their homes. In Feng Shui and other cultural traditions, certain objects, stones, or carvings are believed to bring good fortune, prosperity, and positive energy to a home or a business. This rock, with its auspicious inscription, is one of those decorative and symbolic objects. The shiny green bits are likely just natural mineral inclusions in the stone. Found on my pillow. I left for a couple of days and came back to whatever this is on my pillow. The ceiling above the pillow is fine. This is a form of dandruff. They are dry skin flakes. The commenter has had this and suggests a test. Scratch your head a few times and see if these fall off. The human scalp is constantly shedding dead skin cells. If a person has a dry scalp or dandruff, these flakes can be more noticeable. It is very common to find them on a pillowcase after sleeping. It is not something to be alarmed about. This is a small, white, broken plastic gear found on the floor. I thought it was a Lego at first, but the stud part is far too small. It looks as if the stud was broken off a longer, thin plastic pole. Someone opened a toothpaste tube. This looks like the small internal gear or a part of the cap mechanism from a specific type of toothpaste tube, perhaps one with a flip-top cap or a pump dispenser. These small, intricate plastic parts can sometimes break off, especially on a new tube when it is first being opened. It is a small, insignificant piece of broken packaging. I found this going through my grandma's things. My mom and I can't figure out if it was for anything or if it's just a sculpture. My grandma used to collect antiques. I think it's a bunch of different glass pieces glued together. This appears to be a piece of folk art or a craft project. The artist has taken various small, decorative glass items, such as beads, marbles, prisms from a chandelier, or small glass figurines, and has assembled them into a new, unique sculpture by gluing them together. It is a creative and personal piece of art, a one-of-a-kind assemblage, rather than a functional object with a specific purpose. WTF is this thing that's beeping? I purchased my first house. The power was restored, and immediately we heard beeping from what you see in the picture. It sounds exactly like a fire alarm battery needing to be replaced. That's the transformer for your doorbell. However, a standard doorbell transformer does not have anything that beeps. The beeping is almost certainly coming from something else nearby, and the sound is just reflecting off the transformer, making it seem like the source. The most likely culprit for a low battery beep in a garage is a smoke detector or a carbon monoxide detector. The beeping happening every 30-45 seconds is the classic low battery chirp for one of these life safety devices. Found in my basement. I thought it was part of my partner's bike gear. They thought it was mine. I don't recognize the lowercase I logo. It's the wrist strap for ironclad command impact work gloves. The link provided shows the exact gloves. These heavy-duty work gloves have a TPR, thermoplastic rubber, closure strap with a hook and loop system to provide a secure fit around the wrist. This is that strap. The lowercase I is the logo for the brand Ironclad. It has likely been torn off a pair of work gloves and ended up in the basement. Found near the gas pedal of my car. Found this on the floor near the gas brake pedals of my Nissan Sentra 2015. This looks like a tire valve stem cap. A valve stem cap is the small plastic or metal cap that screws onto the end of the tire's valve stem. Its main purpose is to keep dirt and moisture out of the valve mechanism, which can cause leaks. They are very small and can easily be dropped and lost when checking tire pressure or filling the tires with air. It was likely tracked into the car on someone's shoe or fell out of a pocket. Found on the ground outside my car. What are these? Those look like pins to pull terminals out of harnesses. This is a set of automotive terminal removal tools. When working on a car's electrical system, it is sometimes necessary to remove an individual wire and its metal terminal from a plastic connector housing. These small, key-like tools are designed to be inserted into the connector to release the small locking tabs that hold the terminal in place, allowing the wire to be pulled out without damage. They are an essential tool for any auto electrician. Found this on the beach this morning. It's a squishy white object. It's white, squishy, and membrane-looking. It was found on a beach in Georgia. This looks like a sea pork, Aplydium californicum, which is a type of colonial tunicate or sea squirt. Tunicates are simple marine invertebrate animals. They often grow in colonies that are encased in a common tunic, which can have a firm, gelatinous, or rubbery texture like this one. When they wash up on beaches after a storm, they can look like strange, amorphous blobs. Their name, sea pork, comes from their supposed resemblance to chunks of salt pork. They are a common and completely harmless beach find. These are children's art, or a burglar sign. I saw these signs on the street right outside of my house. I tried removing the first one, and a few days later, a new one appeared. It's probably from a car turning its wheel all the way while stopped. This is a very common type of mark left on pavement. When a car is stationary or moving very slowly, and the driver turns the steering wheel all the way to one side, the tire scrubs against the asphalt, leaving behind a curved mark of rubber residue. There is no need to be worried about burglars. This is just a normal mark from a car maneuvering in the street. These markings on the pavement appeared outside my house. Anybody know what these markings are? Pink triangles are usually temporary markers for surveyors or an indication of underground utilities. The different colors of spray paint used for utility marking have a standardized code. Red is for electrical, yellow for gas, blue for water, and orange for communications. Pink is often used as a temporary survey marking or, as the commenter notes, for unknown utilities. These markings indicate that some sort of construction or excavation work is planned for the area. What is this? This picture is zoomed in. It's actually quite small, smaller than a green pea for sure. I fear I may have more hidden in my room. This is a carpet beetle larva, I think. Carpet beetles are a common household pest. The small, hairy, caterpillar-like larvae are the stage that causes damage. They feed on a wide variety of natural, animal-based materials, including wool carpets, clothing, feathers, and even accumulated dust and pet hair. Finding one is often a sign of a larger infestation, and a thorough cleaning and vacuuming is needed to get rid of them. This is a cooking pot-looking thing. It is attached to my very old duct from my furnace HVAC unit. What is it? This looks like a humidifier, specifically an old drum-style whole-house humidifier. It would be attached to the ductwork of a forced air furnace. Inside the housing, there would be a rotating drum or a pad that would pick up water from a small reservoir at the bottom. As the warm air from the furnace blows through the unit, it would evaporate this water, adding humidity to the air that is then distributed throughout the house. This was a common way to combat dry indoor air during the winter heating season. This is a hand shilling machine. My brother-in-law found this today. Anyone know what it is? It's some sort of machine for use in manufacturing. This looks like a fly press with a serrated cutter. A fly press is a type of manually operated screw press that uses the momentum of a large weighted flywheel to generate a large amount of force. Given the ruler grid on the base, this one is likely for cutting paper, cardboard, or leather. The user would place the material on the base and then pull the handle of the fly press, which would bring the serrated cutter down with great force to stamp out a shape or to cut the material. What does this say? The text on the sign says, Jardín Botánico Medellín. This is Spanish for the Medellín Botanical Garden. The full name is the Joaquín Antonio Uribe Botanical Garden of Medellín, and it is a popular botanical garden and public park in Medellín, Colombia. The sign is simply identifying this location. What is this toy my kid got from school? A banana is used for scale. Google says it's a sensory chew toy for kids. The commenter, who uses one, confirms this. It's a sensory chew toy. These are designed for people, both children and adults, who have chewing stims or a need for oral sensory input, often associated with autism, ADHD, or anxiety. Chewing on a safe, purpose-built object like this, which is made from body-safe materials, is a much safer alternative to chewing on pens, pencils, fingernails, or other objects that can be harmful. They come in a huge variety of shapes, sizes, and textures. My watermelon just came? It's been sitting on the side for a few days, and today it randomly erupted. I've never seen this before. What is it? It's fermenting from decomposition. You should probably toss it. As a watermelon starts to get overripe and decay, the natural sugars inside can begin to ferment. This process, carried out by yeast and bacteria, produces carbon dioxide gas. This gas can build up inside the thick rind of the watermelon, creating a significant amount of pressure. Eventually, this pressure can become so great that it causes the watermelon to rupture or erupt, spewing out the frothy, fermented contents. It is a sign that the fruit is well past its prime. What is that? I found it at a small airport. This is a high-altitude compression G-suit for a MiG pilot, likely from the Soviet military. A G-suit is a flight suit worn by pilots of high-performance fighter jets. It has inflatable bladders that automatically squeeze the pilot's legs and abdomen during high-G maneuvers. This prevents blood from pooling in the lower body, which would cause the pilot to black out. This specific type is also a high-altitude pressure suit, which would provide protection in the event of a loss of cabin pressure at very high altitudes. It is a piece of specialized military aviation life support equipment. This came in a kid's gift bag. I'm not sure what type of toy it is. It's very stiff, and nothing turns or twists. I had one of these. It's made up of triangles, connected by a stiff band on the inside. It twists where the triangles meet to form the zigzag pattern. This is a type of fidget or puzzle toy, often called a magic snake or a twist puzzle. While it seems stiff, it is designed to be twisted and folded at the joints between the triangular segments. You can manipulate it into a huge variety of different shapes, like a ball, a snake, a dog, or other geometric forms. It is a classic and creative sensory toy. What's this object on the side of a loading bucket? It's just the bucket manufacturer's logo. The logo is for the company Makasi from Finland. Makasi is a manufacturer of heavy-duty attachments for construction and agricultural equipment, such as the excavator or loader bucket that this logo is on. It is simply the brand identification for the company that made the bucket. This looks like a pencil, but doesn't write. I found it in metal trash. The tip is chipped. The text on the side says, Pettinghouse. This is a metal scribe made by Pettinghouse, a company that makes structural steel fabrication machinery. A scribe is a hand tool with a very hard, sharp point, often made of tungsten carbide. It is used by metalworkers and machinists to scratch or scribe a precise layout line into a piece of metal before it is cut, drilled, or welded. It is the metalworking equivalent of a pencil. The chipped tip is why it was likely discarded. The hell is on my onion? They're just housefly maggots, nothing exotic. These are the larvae of the common housefly. A fly has laid its eggs on the onion, likely in a spot where it was beginning to rot or had some moisture. The eggs have then hatched into these small, pale larvae, which are feeding on the onion. The commenter's advice is stark but correct. Throw that away, take out the trash, and disinfect anything it touched to prevent a fly infestation. Just making a sandwich and, what is this? This is a green potato. When a potato is exposed to light, it will start to produce chlorophyll, which is the pigment that makes plants green. This is a natural process. However, this light exposure can also cause the potato to produce a toxin called solanine, which is concentrated in the green areas. While eating a small amount, like a single green potato chip, is unlikely to cause harm, it is generally recommended to cut away any green parts of a potato before cooking and eating it. This is a brass fitting. What is it? It was found in a bunch of gas-related fittings. This is a Marshall Excelsior METL051 Serviceman's Friend Test Fitting. It is a specialized tool used by technicians who work on propane systems. It is a multi-purpose adapter that allows a technician to connect their pressure gauges and testing equipment to various points in a propane system, such as on a regulator or tank valve, to check pressures and to diagnose problems. It is a very specific and useful tool for a propane service professional. Can anyone decipher this? The commenter has transcribed the cursive handwriting. It appears to be feedback on a speech or a presentation. The notes include, need more research, Josh support, good conversational style in your delivery, and work to avoid repetitive hand gestures. It seems to be constructive criticism from a teacher, a coach, or a peer, providing pointers for improvement on a public speaking performance. This is attached to a signpost pole in K-Town, Germany. What is it? These are used to collect data from vibrations. They are likely part of a seismic survey to create a detailed map of the subsoil in the region in order to identify structures conducive to groundwater flow for geothermal potential. The device is a geophone, which is a sensor that detects ground movement. By setting off a small, controlled vibration, often from a special thumper truck, and recording how the seismic waves travel through the ground with a series of these geophones, geologists can create a 3D map of the underground rock layers. I've had this for ages and never chucked it as I wanted to know what it was for, but never bothered till now. What is it? It's a needle threading tool. It is a simple but very helpful gadget for anyone who does hand sewing. The small, fine wire loop on the tool is pushed through the tiny eye of a sewing needle. The thread is then passed through this much larger wire loop. When you then pull the tool back out of the needle's eye, it pulls the thread along with it, threading the needle instantly. It is a huge help for people who have difficulty seeing the small eye of a needle. Found this in some random box. What's it for? Those blue things roll 360 degrees, and it kind of rotates away and together from each other in two halves. This is a massager. It is a handheld, manual self-massage tool. The two halves would be held in the hand, and the user would roll the blue balls, which are the massage heads, over their muscles. The rotating design allows it to be used on different parts of the body, like the neck, shoulders, or legs, to work out muscle knots and relieve tension. The eBay link shows a similar, if more modern, example of this type of personal massage tool. This is on a bank wall. Is it an alarm of some sort? Just wondering what its purpose is. It is a lockbox that is Bluetooth operated, primarily for the benefit of first responders and firefighters. It is a secure key vault, often called a Knox box. Inside, there would be a key to the bank. In the event of a fire or another emergency after business hours, the first responders can use a special, secure app or a master key to open this lockbox and retrieve the key to the building. This allows them to gain access without having to force entry, saving critical time and preventing property damage. What is this granulated white stuff that's falling out of my blueberry cobbler no-cow protein bar? My mom says it's sugar. I don't think it was prepared properly. It definitely looks like a clump of unmixed sugar. Your mom is likely right. During the manufacturing process of the protein bar, the ingredients were not thoroughly mixed, and a clump of one of the granular ingredients, most likely sugar or a sugar substitute like erythritol, did not get fully incorporated into the bar. While it's not harmful, it is a quality control issue. The commenter suggests that if you call the company, they might offer you some compensation, like a coupon for a free product. What is this sticker? My mum pointed at our oven, which we've owned for years, and asked, "What is that?" We have no idea what the sticker is trying to show. This is a warning sign that is usually affixed to the packaging or the appliance itself, especially in the case of freestanding electric cookers. It warns that the appliance may tip over if you lean on it or move it improperly, for example, by standing on the open oven door. The symbol indicates that the appliance must be secured to the wall with an anti-tip device, which is a bracket that prevents the heavy appliance from falling forward and causing a serious injury. Filter for what? I found a snack bag full of these filters in a kitchen catch-all drawer. The weirdest thing is that the cardboard cutout part is on both sides. These are filters for coffee, specifically for a percolator or a large urn-style coffee maker. The filter paper is designed to be folded or to fit into the large, round filter basket of these machines. The cardboard cutout on both sides might be a feature of a specific brand, perhaps to help it fit a particular model of coffee maker or to make it easier to handle. They are a common, if somewhat old-fashioned, type of coffee filter. This is a grass jelly dessert. What is the yellow custard in our grass jelly dessert? I was explaining everything in the dessert to my husband and drew a blank with the yellow stuff. This is egg pudding. Grass jelly is a popular Asian dessert, and it is often served with a variety of other toppings. Egg pudding, a simple, sweet, and smooth custard made from eggs, sugar, and milk, is a very common and classic accompaniment to grass jelly. Its soft texture and sweet, creamy flavor provide a nice contrast to the slightly bitter and firm jelly. Found on my bathroom floor. It feels like glass. I can't think of any decor that it would have broken off of. What could it be? This is the Eye of Ra. The Eye of Ra is an ancient Egyptian symbol, representing the feminine counterpart to the sun god Ra. It is a symbol of power, protection, and royal authority. This is likely a small glass charm, a bead, or a decorative cabochon with this symbol on it. It has probably fallen off a piece of jewelry, a keychain, or another decorative item, and was then tracked into the bathroom. I have a jar of this, but I don't know what it is, and I love it. It's super soft, and I literally have no idea where I got it. I have bought Fluffle, and it's not the same. You can make this stuff at home. There are recipes online. This is a type of cloud slime, or Fluffle, a popular variety of homemade slime. It is made by mixing a basic slime recipe, glue, and an activator with instant snow powder, the kind that expands with water. This gives the slime a very soft, fluffy, drizzly, and non-sticky texture that many people find very satisfying to play with. It's a very popular DIY craft. What are these, and why are there so many of them? These are elevator test weights. When an elevator is installed or undergoes a major service, it must be inspected and certified to ensure it can safely carry its rated load. To perform this test, technicians will load the elevator car with a specific number of these certified known weight blocks to simulate the weight of passengers. The large number of them is because a passenger elevator has a very high weight capacity, often thousands of pounds, so a lot of these weights are needed to perform a full load test. What is 500 feet away? I can't quite make out the word on the green sign. Help me, Reddit Hive Mind. Putting it in all caps, straight away. The sign is a warning for drivers on a racetrack or a performance driving course. It is indicating that there is a 500-foot straight section of the track ahead. This information is crucial for a race car driver to know when to brake, when to accelerate, and how to set up for the next corner. This is a string of lights moving upward in the sky. It happened for about 30 seconds while stargazing in the Midwest. This is a Starlink satellite train. Starlink is SpaceX's satellite internet constellation, which consists of thousands of small satellites in low Earth orbit. They are launched in large batches, and for a few days or weeks after a launch, they travel in a long, single-file line across the sky as they raise their orbits. Seeing this string of pearls moving silently and steadily across the night sky is now a very common, if sometimes startling, sight. This is above the driver's seat in Thailand. What is this marking? I'm assuming something for safe driving. A lot of taxi drivers in Bangkok have Buddhist items on the dash and ceiling. I think this is called a yantra. Yantras are sacred geometric designs or scripts, often drawn by a Buddhist monk. They are believed to offer protection, good fortune, and other blessings. It is a very common tradition in Thailand for drivers to have these protective yantras placed in their vehicles to ensure safe travels and to ward off accidents. It is a form of spiritual protection. I rinsed these apples in vinegar, and they look strange. We got them in Ontario, and they were very shiny. What is this coating? This is probably carnauba wax. It's a plant-derived, non-toxic, food-grade wax that is commonly applied to apples and other produce. Its purpose is to replace the natural wax of the apple that is washed off during processing. This new wax coating helps to preserve the fruit by preventing moisture loss, and it also gives the apple a shiny, appealing appearance. The vinegar and water soak has started to lift and break down this wax coating, which is what is causing the strange, blotchy look. The apple is still safe to eat. Sticks. I found these on the tree line at my house today around the same area. Looks like there was an old barbed wire fence in that area as well, but I don't know if any of that is related. That's the tree's knees. These are cypress knees. Cypress trees, which often grow in swampy or wet areas, will send up these unique, conical or rounded woody projections from their roots. The exact function of these knees is still debated by scientists, but they are thought to help with structural support for the tree in the soft, wet soil, and they may also play a role in gas exchange for the roots. They are a very distinctive and characteristic feature of cypress swamps. There are multiple of these underneath select seats at a concert hall. They are alarm bell-looking things, seem to be cast metal, and are hollow on top of an opening. It's a vent for the hall's AC. A performance hall has vents underneath many of the seats in the audience chamber because the HVAC system's supply air is actually in a plenum space underneath the audience. The conditioned air is then delivered into the room through these floor-mounted diffusers or vents. This method, called displacement ventilation, is very efficient and quiet. The cast iron construction is likely for durability in a high-traffic public space and for acoustic properties. I found this in my stuff, and I don't remember getting it, and I have no clue what it is. It's a no-touch door opener. These became very popular during the pandemic. It is a small, handheld tool, usually made of metal or plastic, designed to help you avoid touching high-contact public surfaces. The hook at the end is for pulling open door handles. The tip is for pushing elevator buttons or keypads. It's a simple hygiene tool that allows you to interact with your environment without direct hand contact. This is painted on the sidewalk. What is it? These are ground control points, GCPs. They are targets that are painted on the ground by surveyors for use in aerial mapping and photogrammetry. When an area is being mapped by an airplane or a drone, a surveyor will first place these high-contrast, easily identifiable targets at specific locations. They will then use GPS equipment to measure the precise coordinates of the center of each target. These known points are then used to georeference and scale the aerial photographs, creating a highly accurate map or 3D model of the area. It's been 3 years, and it's still a mystery. Who is this cat character? I was going through my old photos and found this screenshot of someone's profile picture. My first thought was maybe it was a nature cat background character. This art style looks a lot like Owen Watson's, who works on a lot of the Jackbox games. Jackbox Games is a company that makes popular party video games. This is likely a character or an avatar from one of their many games. The quirky, cartoonish style is very characteristic of the art in their games. Without knowing which specific game it's from, it's hard to be certain, but it is almost certainly a character from the Jackbox universe, created by the artist Owen Watson. What was the weirdest object for you? Let me know in the comments and share this to test your friends. If you love uncovering these mysteries, hit like and subscribe. Your support helps us find more curious explorers like you. Stay curious.